two very special guests, near and dear to my heart. We have Anne and Rona. They are two volunteers at the hospital, and as I've learned, they have been volunteering for a very long time. Anne actually started volunteering in 2005 when the new hospital, I had no idea the hospital was 20 years old. What? It's crazy. Anyways, I do remember the old sites, but yeah, she's been with the hospital since the inception, and she even got to be in it before any of the patients or it was actually officially open, which is kind of cool. So she was able to go in and just kind of check out all the different areas. So yeah, we're gonna have a talk about volunteering. Do you volunteer? Have you ever volunteered? Are you thinking about volunteering? Because there's many different places you can do it in this community. And I think it's a great thing. I think it brings generations together. It brings community together. You learn about the people volunteering and then about the organization you're doing it for and with. And as Anne and Rona say, it brings a great deal of satisfaction. So, really good chat with them. Let's get into it. But before we do, it's Get In and Go with North Bay Toyota. I'm Lisa Bueve, and this is To North Bay with Love.
Get in and go at North Bay Toyota. From the bold and adventurous RAV4 to the fuel-efficient and stylish Corolla Cross to the powerful and rugged Tacoma, there's a Toyota for everyone. Need extra space for the family? The Highlander, Grand Highlander, and Sienna. Want to go green? Check out Toyota's complete lineup of hybrid vehicles like the Prius, Camry, Crown, all-new Crown Signia, and more. Get in and go at North Bay Toyota. Visit them at 640 McEwen North Bay or toyota.com for details.
I met both of you because you volunteer at the hospital.
That's right.
Okay, how long, and you can kind of we'll go back and forth, I guess, but how long have you been volunteering at the hospital?
I've been volunteering since 2005, so 20 years at the hospital.
Wow. So you were at the old site too then?
No.
When did the new site open?
It's been there. It was open.
That's hard to believe, isn't
2005.
it? Yeah.
Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, 2005.
Yeah.
It was okay.
And me just since COVID, really. I had my application in when COVID hit and had to wait till afterwards. I started out in orthopedics and then moved up to day surgery.
So when you put in your application, what's the process like? I mean, do you have to get a police check and everything?
Yeah.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
In the vulnerable sections? Or is that what they call it? Sectors? The vulnerable sectors?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And you get interviewed in a very general kind of way, and what kind of work would you like to do? And I said, well, I would just like to work with people. So I was an ambassador first.
Okay. Is that at the front?
At the main desk, yeah.
Okay.
And just help people out. And it was really quite interesting because we were invited in right at the very beginning to get used to the hospital, to see what it was like and where everything was. And it was wonderful. And I thought I knew where everything was.
Yeah.
And then people showed up. And I couldn't find anything.
You kind of froze. You were like,
it was,
gosh.
oh my goodness, there's people everywhere.
So, okay, so you guys were in it before, people even came and patients came? Were you in it before the official? You were before the official opening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Must have been eerie. Is it eerie there with nobody there?
No, not really. It was all new and bright and cheery. And
I can't believe it's been open that long. That's funny. That's crazy.
I know. It
is a beautiful. I think it's a beautiful hospital. I mean, it is pretty. And they've done all that new work now with the glass. Along the side, which is really pretty. Yeah, it's all watermarked. So, do you after they talk to you and say whereabouts do you want to go? Do they then choose, unless you would have an area?
They came up with a suggestion. Actually, I got started with my neighbor who worked in the orthopedics, and she said, come on in with me and I'll show you the ropes. So the two of us worked together.
Yeah.
But then I decided I was kind of stepping on her toes a little bit and wanted to go elsewhere, and they suggested day surgery, so that's where I ended up.
Yeah. Have you always volunteered?
Yes, in my adult life, yeah.
Where else have you volunteered?
It's quite a list.
That's okay. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay.
We had a tourist camp north of Sturgeon Falls. So my husband and I were involved. It was in an unorganized township. So my husband and I were involved in the local roads board. I was secretary treasurer. He was chairman.
Okay.
We also looked after the landfill site, the fish hatchery. He was the volunteer fire chief.
What the heck?
So we had lots of stuff going on. Yeah.
Where's the fish hatchery?
It was actually, we had it right at our camp, helped by the people in the community. Everybody would come in and work at it. Yeah,
What kind of fish would hatch there?
pickerel,
Just pickerel.
pickerel. Yeah.
And then do they go into Nipissing? Where do you put the-
No, into the lake where we were, Lake Tomaco Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. I think I've seen a sign for that.
Just north of Sturgeon Falls.
Yeah.
Up towards Field,
Okay.
off the Field Highway. Yeah.
Okay. And do they still do it? Like, is it still there?
No, it kind of fell apart. Yeah.
So, like, is there no more fish in Tomaco?
oh no, there.
Okay.
I think the fishing might be all right.
Well,
yeah.
that's good. All right. What about you, Anne?
I probably have been volunteering since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Mostly through my church, through the United Church in Alliston. And then like through Sunday school. And then I also kind of worked away at the high school too. Just kind of did whatever they needed there. I think I got to be good friends with the vice principal there. And he just kept asking me to come in. He says, could you come in the last 2 weeks of August and help out with setting up the tuck shop or whatever and helping one of the secretaries and stuff?
Yeah.
And I used to volunteer for my dad. He used to do the potato letter of Canada.
The
'Cause Alliston
potato,
was
what?
The potato letter. Alliston was a large potato growing area after tobacco kind of went down the tubes. So Dad would write this potato letter and talk about all these new things and whatever. And I got to run it off on the Gestetner and get it all folded.
Okay,
Get
wait, is that the ink? You'd put the ink?
Yeah,
Is that
we
you'd
put
roll it
the-
through the
yeah.
ink?
Yep. Oh, yes.
Pre-copy.
I twitch. Okay.
It was a while ago, I should say.
That was just last year. Like,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. They still have this machine. Okay, what would he write about in that? Like, it was new types of potatoes or what they
Not
were
new
doing?
types of potatoes as much as new processes in the fields.
Yeah.
You know, switching one field to another field to like different crops
Right.
in different fields. Different, I guess, not drugs, but chemicals and stuff that would come out that were for different kinds of processes and stuff. And
And he was a potato farmer, was he?
no,
No?
he
Oh.
was the agricultural rep for South Simcoe.
Oh, shoot.
So, yeah. So,
That must have been
but
busy.
he was an old farmer. Sorry, Dad. You grew up on a farm. Right?
Yes.
He loved to farm. That was his big thing.
Okay. And you grew up on a farm?
No.
No, he did. Okay, you didn't.
He
at that
did.
time. Yeah.
I grew up in town. He wanted to buy a farm.
Yeah.
Like maybe when I was in grade 11, so that would be a long, long time ago. He wanted to buy a farm, and Mom said that would be fine, and they found a nice farm outside of Alliston that could go. And Mom said that you will have to buy at least one more car, though, if we move out here. Maybe two, because I'm not driving those kids everywhere they want to
Exactly.
go.
Taxi.
And there
yeah.
were 6 of us, so
Oh my gosh. Okay.
she
yeah.
was a busy
yeah.
lady.
Yeah, no kidding. It's interesting because my parents, so did your parents volunteer at places, or they were involved in organizations that weren't? Yeah?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that's where you kind of got not the idea, but do you think that's why you volunteered as well? Because you kind of saw your parents doing it, or like were your friends doing it, or how like you know,
I honestly think it's a sense of giving back.
Yeah.
To your community.
Yeah. And I only say that because I volunteered. Both my parents, the same thing. You know, my mom was huge into Terry Fox, and she actually created the first radiothon in Timmins. She taught in Timmins for years, and so she was big into that and got the kids involved in that and was at the race, and then she also did the Cancer Society, and you know they were with the TSO for a little bit, Timmins the Symphony Orchestra, not the Toronto one, but yeah, like they were out in the community, and they were very. I do remember that growing up, they were very involved in the community, and so I kind of volunteered off and on like through my teenage years and stuff. And of course, though, when we were in high school, I don't think there was a thing where you would volunteer to get hours for credit, right? And now that seems to be definitely a thing in high school, but also I think in university or in college, I think they have to do it as well. And I just wonder because I think like there's a certain demographic of volunteer at the North Bay Hospital. I can't speak for other places because it's just at the hospital where I see volunteers every day. And I just wonder because I feel like the younger people who are volunteering, I don't know how many of them are doing it to volunteer, just to give back, Like, I think a lot of them are doing it for, and they're still there, and that's great, but it's like, it's kind of a means to an end, they want a credit or something, right? So,
But
I
I
don't
think
know, like,
I know a lot of them like are applying for nursing.
yes.
So they volunteered because it looks good on their CVs to
Right.
put that
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah. I know.
So, and I know a couple of volunteers, particularly from high school. One young girl just really liked working with geriatrics, and so she volunteered way over the number of 20 hours I think they need at high school.
Okay.
But she was like into the 350 hours
Yeah.
volunteering just because she loved it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think from my perspective, a lot of us volunteer because we're retired and we have time.
Right.
When I was working, I
No.
taught, and so I coached a lot. I was always doing
Right.
that, which
Yeah.
was volunteer
For
work.
yeah, absolutely.
But I couldn't imagine putting in more hours at the hospital as well. Ugh,
yeah.
that would have just done me in.
Of course, yeah, you're right. Like, because, when you think about how that's changed, even like from the 70s and 80s, right? Where quite often there was a mom at home, or, you know what I mean? Like, not both parents were working. So then when the kids were at school, perhaps then, there
Perhaps
could be
then,
some
right.
volunteering. But
Well,
now
there's-
it's like everybody works, yeah.
There's a lady on my street who watches hockey. She loves hockey. But she knits, and she knits babies' caps. So at least once a year, if not twice a year, she gives me big bags of babies' caps that I'm supposed to take into the
Yeah.
Children and Cares unit.
I love it.
So they can have hats to give the new babies.
Yeah.
And they're wonderful. They're just so cute.
I love it. I wondered, I asked about that, the baby, where you go in and you can like rock and just hold babies who are in the
Yes.
NICU. And they said during COVID, obviously they had to
Right.
stop that, but I should see if it's going on again, because that would be something so lovely. I would definitely like to do that. But yeah, it's hard, I guess, when you're raising a family, and then you have a lot of people are the sandwich generation, right? Where they're looking after kind of maybe parents also, and then also, their kids, and they're busy.
Well, my
and-
parents definitely didn't start volunteering until after we were up in age, and
Right.
yeah,
Because how many were you in your family?
three of us.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's busy.
And they got involved with the Boy Scouts and hockey, kids hockey, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's like, I don't know, like what do you guys get out of it? Because you're not doing this for credit. You're not.
I
It's
feel
not going to
good.
look good on your resume.
Makes me
right?
feel good. It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it-
feel very satisfied.
Yeah,
Just
and it doesn't
it's
take
something
much
I like
to
to
make
do.
somebody happy.
No.
To help to somebody. Just a smile, friendly word sometimes is
Yeah.
all it takes. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And do you think? I don't know. I feel like when you get to a certain age, maybe. Do you feel that there's like a part that where you're just kind of maybe not seen as much in society anymore? And so you kind of, and so this is like a way to, you still want to be like relevant, and you still want to be out there, and you still want to be
Well, there's
doing
that.
things, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
But-
do you find as you get older, like your world gets smaller, or what do you think?
I don't.
No,
No.
that's good.
I think we agree on that. No, it keeps getting bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
days I want it to get smaller.
Like, okay,
Just-
so in what
yeah.
way? Like, how is it getting, like, just
Because
what's going on?
Well, my sisters have kids, and they're getting boyfriends and girlfriends, and they're getting married, and there's another family that you get to meet, and then there's whatever, and then I got a dog, and so I get
Yes.
to meet all those dog people, and then get to do dog classes, and like it just goes on and on and on.
Even though I watch every sports documentary there is on Netflix, I would not know where to begin if I took up a sport. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels the same way. So what do we need? We need experts, my friends. We need some experts. And we can find those experts in Paul and his team at Source for Sports. So those guys play sports at every level. So no matter if you're a beginner or if you're a seasoned pro, they can educate you on what you need to play that particular sport, and they can take you to the next level in your sport. So if you've been playing something for a long time and then you kind of want to, kick it up a notch, go see Paul and the team at Source for Sports. They're also very much into community. They are huge advocates of community sports at many different levels. And They also have a wide range of range and variety of sports apparel. So they have uniforms and they have fan gear. They have top of the line equipment for anything you could possibly imagine sports related. So head over to see Paul and the gang at Source for Sports. They're located at 1321 Fisher Street, right here in North Bay. Super committed to keeping sports alive here in our community, and we couldn't be happier that they are one of our major sponsors. So, hey, if you have a sports question, now you know where to go. Source for Sports.
Hi, I'm Graham Shaver, host of the Kindness Cast. Here to tell you the Kindness Project is back from June 9 to 13. Do something kind, big or small, and share it on social media with the hashtag KindnessNorth. Also tune in that week to North Bay Echo's original shows, To North Bay with Love, Backroads Bill, Echo Essentials, and the Echo Sportscast featuring guests and topics all about kindness. The Kindness Project is powered by CMHA North Bay and District, helping to raise mental health awareness and create positive change in our communities, because kindness makes us all feel better. Head to kindnessnorth.ca to learn more.
Dear North Bay, as a single mom and full-time student, life can feel overwhelming and budgets are always tight. But one thing I never question is how deeply I care about my community. When I began volunteering at the North Bay Regional Health Centre, I saw firsthand how much the healthcare system means to people, especially when life takes an unexpected turn. It made me think, what if it was my child, my parent, or my friend that was in need of care? That's when I realized I wanted to do more, to be part of something bigger than myself. I joined the I Give monthly club because even a small monthly gift can have a meaningful impact, helping ensure everyone in our community has access to the care they need right here at home. If you believe in strong, local health care, I hope you'll join me. Sign up at nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125. It's simple and it matters. With gratitude, Kim Cosgrove.
And I guess it's what you bring to the table you get out of too, right? I mean, there's a choice of, if you want to just kind of sit at home and do your thing, then go ahead. But you guys are actively seeking out, things to do, right? So because you've always been busy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then is it you or somebody who has family come and you got to set up all the air mattresses?
Oh, that's me.
So, okay, yeah. Because you're just saying all these families.
Yep.
And I remember you talking about Easter or something and you were like, oh yeah, like so-and-so sleeping on the floor here.
Yeah,
but
if you're under 35, you're sleeping in the basement.
Basement floor. That's right.
If you're over 35, you get a bed upstairs.
Yeah. Is there a lot of volunteers at the I know our wall upstairs just in day surgery has a lot of volunteers.
They said it
how many?
The other day.
Yes,
Really?
It's in the range of 300.
Yeah.
You could certainly talk to the volunteer group to find that number out. But
Taylor would know.
Mm-hmm. Right, because she organizes all. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. So does every floor have volunteers, I guess, or every unit?
Every department,
every department.
Most departments have
Clinics.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Like there are volunteers that work in the care unit downstairs on floor 1. There are volunteers that help out with, they're not really candy stripers, but that same kind of area, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's ambassadors that are everywhere. There's somebody's in the blood work area.
Yeah. Dang, we should have those candy stripers again. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I guess they don't have them anymore.
Cigars, cigarettes.
so.
I could be like little Betty Boop or something, going around being like, do you want some cigarettes? What do you want? Can you imagine?
Yes, now
That would be
I
good.
couldn't be a candy striper because that would mean I'd have to wear a skirt or a dress, and I don't do that. So.
Kind of got past that myself.
When was that like the 50s? Was that when that was happening?
Well,
40s, 50s? I don't know.
50s and
You
60s,
definitely didn't wear trousers. You had to wear a skirt.
That's right.
Yeah, even in the dead of winter.
But and candy stripers were happening then? Was that it? Like the era?
Yes,
was
right.
that it?
Right.
When I
Okay.
started at the hospital, there was a lady that I played tennis with.
Yeah.
And she was a candy striper, and she would always show up in her uniform. And she would, I think she was a mail deliverer. I think she took mail around and packages around to people. But yes, she was quite taken aback when she saw me working as an ambassador and wearing my
Wearing pants.
and Yeah.
How
She
dare
said,
you?
Don't you have another outfit to wear, Anne?
Oh my!
No. This is it.
So what was her uniform? Was it striped? Is
No,
that why
it
they would call
wasn't
them?
striped.
No.
It was a skirt and a top, and I think she had the jacket on, the volunteer jacket or
Okay,
whatever
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a skirt. She would never wear pants. So
Yeah. That's funny. And I guess, I mean, they were called candy stripers. Were they bringing around, was it candy in there too? I mean, I know it was cigarettes probably like back then because everybody
I don't
smoked.
know.
I mean, the doctors
Really?
smoked everybody, but like how horrible is that? Like you're in the hospital. because
There's
exactly.
you're
an
for
ashtray
sugar.
right on your bed
Oh,
table.
yeah, sure. Have a
Even-
little smoke. Yeah.
the days gone by.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't see that anymore.
No,
No.
not even supposed to smoke on school property on
On the
On
hospital,
hospital
property.
property. No, we do see them out there sometimes. Do you guys consider yourselves seniors?
Yes.
How do you feel about that word?
I don't mind seniors. I hate elderly. You can call me senior, you can call me older, but I really hate elderly.
Yes. What about you, Anne?
Me.
Yeah.
I'm not a senior. I just kind of do my thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I asked because we had Harriet Madigan in here, and she's got the Living Fit group,
right.
right? And she was like, no, like don't say senior because it just has this connotation of like,
Yes.
you
Oh,
I
know.
don't
And so
mind.
I always ask, I'm like, so yeah, what is Seniors Day at Shoppers Drug Mart or whatever and stuff? But I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I'd like to be called senior when I don't know.
it's.
I don't know.
That doesn't bother
I
me.
mean, I appreciate all of the perks that come along with being a senior.
Exactly.
But-
Your free stuff at Shoppers.
That's right.
Give me that.
Thursdays, yep.
I know.
Yep.
Right.
Because like senior, I mean, it's fun if it's like, Frank Senior and Frank Junior, like then it's kind of fun. But then I think just the word senior, like in society now, like makes you think of like these,
Yes.
people with a little cane.
And the age kept changing too, right?
Right.
We used to be 65 and then
Yeah.
it was 60 and now it's 55
Yeah.
in most situations.
And seniors are changing. They're more involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out and about, man. I think,
and
they
more
say.
active, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys
Absolutely.
go to the village at all?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've been there since they set up that program up
I'm
there.
trying to get my mom up there. I think Sal would
it's
have a lot of
wonderful.
fun up there.
It's just wonderful. Yeah.
So what kind of things do you do up there?
Exercise. See, we have there's chair yoga. There's mid-range exercise, and then a little more aggressive exercise, and all different days of the week. They have all kinds of different things going on.
Yeah.
They have a computer
knitting.
class.
Yeah. If you got a problem with your computer, bring it in. The students will help you. Oh, all kinds of stuff.
Everything.
Yeah.
And then I think do they bring in like workshop stuff? Like do they bring in people to do certain things?
Yeah.
Like depending on the time of year and stuff like that? Like
Yeah,
maybe
not
do you
so
do
much
like
now though? I haven't
Yeah.
seen that lately up there.
No.
No.
I don't go, so.
Yeah, the first time we went up there, actually, we did a podcast up there because they had the blanket.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking at my
Yeah.
the witness blanket. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the witness
Yeah.
blanket. Man, what a display that was. That was pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
And as
Absolutely.
part of that program, we volunteer up there to, on open house.
Okay.
Or take the students around and their families around. And,
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
you go. Like around the college kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. On their tours, yeah.
That's
And
fun.
help with the graduations. I haven't got involved in that, but my friends have, yeah.
So would you, if you wanted to do that, is that all you put in your application, like at the village to do that? And
No,
just say
they
all volunteer?
kind of say
or?
this is available if you'd like to sign up. That's
Oh, I
basically
see.
the
Okay.
way. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
done, yeah.
is it like a Monday to Friday thing, the village, or is it open
Yeah,
all
it
around?
goes
Is it-
pretty. I'm not sure about Friday, but it definitely Monday to
Yeah.
Thursday. Oh yes, on Friday because they have Zumba up there on
Oh,
Friday.
hey now.
Yeah,
Hey now. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, there's another person like Harriet, right? I mean,
Oh,
she just
she's
can't slow
amazing.
her down.
She is amazing.
Ain't
She's
no
another
slowing her
one
down.
who's got so much energy in
Yeah,
her little
that's right,
finger.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
right. Speaking of energy, okay, so are you guys going to volunteer until you're like 105? I hope you do.
I'm going to volunteer until I'm at least 90.
Okay.
It was my mom who got me involved in the hospital. I thought she was on a hospital board, small hospital
Okay.
down south. She said, "Anne, it's just very satisfying. You should get involved." So I did. And she was still doing some minuscule volunteering
Yeah.
later on when she was in her 90s. And I
Wow.
said, then I guess that's what I'd have to do.
Thing is, too, like when you volunteer, especially when there's different, like there's all these generations coming together, which is what I love too, right? Like there's you learn because you learn from every generation. I think, like I learned from my younger coworkers at the hospital. mostly how to do things on my phone, or like if the computer does something weird, I'm always like, Jess, get over here. I don't know what's going on. Press something. And then you learn from the older generations too. Like I just love that. It's like it's such a community, right? It's just a community of all people from all walks of life, and then just learning about like what our volunteers have done before they're volunteering.
And I think that's one of the wonderful things about volunteering. You do get involved in another community.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fine.
Yeah. Get involved in all the good gossip around the hospital. It's good stuff. You could be like, well, I heard that. Do you know how old, I mean, you may not, but how old the oldest volunteer is at the hospital right now? Like, do we have anyone who's like 90 or like?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think there was
yeah.
a fellow at the front desk for the longest time. I can't think of his name.
Lou?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Lou. Yes, Lou. Yeah.
No, he's not 90.
No.
Oh. He may look 90 sometimes. Sorry, Lou.
Sometimes. Sorry, Lou. Now that front desk, though, the ambassadorship, it sounds very important. However, it's not manned all the time.
No. They
Which is sad.
They don't have enough volunteers.
Okay, see, hearing that, listeners, viewers, hello. If you want something to do in the community, come on out. 'Cause they need people at that. And it's such a beautiful place to be, honestly. Like, it's a beautiful big desk, right? All the windows, you get all the natural light. And
even after I started up in day surgery, I would volunteer to do Friday nights as an ambassador, because there are people in the hospital and people coming from out of town to come see these people because they couldn't get in during the week. Yeah. And Friday nights, like almost always, there were like a dozen people coming through who needed to know where so-and-so was, how to get there and so on. And
then, do you guys, like, you have computers there at the front, do you? Or, like, how would you know? Can you look up to see where their person is?
They have a chart.
There's a list.
You get a list of, like,
that's
who's where.
And every day.
Okay, I was going to say, that's crazy.
I don't know whether they get on the computer for anything. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, they have a telephone and a list. And they can send people around to...
And usually they take them. They're great. They don't always say... It's over here, go upstairs.
Right,
and They usually just take
Certainly if there's more than one on the desk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's fun. Like, I think I'm going to volunteer probably when I retire too. I'll probably be volunteering there, because I do that even now. Like, when people come into the pre-admission clinic, they usually have to go do blood work, and they have to go do ECGs before their surgery upcoming. And quite often the porters are very busy, and sometimes they're short too. And so I'll just say, "Oh, don't worry, let me go get a chair. I'll be right back." And so I go get it, and I just, it's a blast. I love it. Like, you're talking to the patient, like, "Why? Oh, so you're getting this knee done? Oh yeah, it was my second knee." And so you're going on, and you're walking around showing people where to go, and there is something really satisfying about that. When I wear my lanyard, and walk, if I'm going out, heading out, or if I'm coming in, sometimes people will say, "Oh, you work here. How do you get to ACU?" That's a big one now, because they've had to use the offices, in a different place now. So, but it's satisfying, because then there's a type of ownership too, that you, like, it's our hospital, it's our community hospital, and so we have to be ambassadors for it and just help our community get around and know where they're going. And exactly, it's definitely satisfying for sure. Yeah. What would you say? I don't know, to anybody listening or watching who thinks about volunteering and maybe thinks, I don't know, like maybe they're nervous about it, or they're just kind of...
You really don't need to be nervous. It's very satisfying. Lots of opportunities, lots of different departments to work in.
Well, and the volunteer office people are wonderful.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you just have to call the volunteer office and just go in and see Taylor or...
Oriana,
or... I guess Kim doesn't do it anymore. Kim's the head of the communications department.
Okay.
But the other two are wonderful.
Yeah.
It's very nice, and you just express your interest, and they will encourage you as best they can.
Awesome. Well, I need to say a huge thank you to both of you, and to all our volunteers who happen to be listening or watching. You'll have to tell everybody you were on this, so then the hospital can watch. But you guys are priceless to us, and I hope you know that, because you are an integral part of the hospital, and our jobs are so lovely because we have you there helping us, and it's we certainly don't take you for granted. We love you guys, and we just love that you're there with us, and it just makes it just an extra fun part of our day.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll see you at work.
Okay. See you Tuesday.
Okay, guys. So there we go, guys. If you're thinking of volunteering, there's many different places you can do it. But the hospital, I would highly recommend. What? have like 300 volunteers. Like I said, I mean, our jobs are so much more fun because of our volunteers. They are an integral part of the hospital. We couldn't do it without them. We really couldn't. And the fact that they take time out of their days, and, you know, like they said, just because they are of a certain age, senior, according to Rona, it doesn't mean that they've disappeared. It doesn't mean their life is over and they just sit around. Like, they're super busy and their lives are getting way bigger. And yet they take the time and, you know, even on super snowy, horrible days, they get up and they brush off their cars and in they come. And we just love it. I love all of our volunteers, every single one. So hopefully you guys are going to be watching at the hospital, and kudos to you. We love working with you. Hey, listen, go to our website, northbayecho.ca. You can check out all the other podcasts that are there, and you can sign up for our newsletter, Echo Essentials. I think that's it. That's it for me. Until next time, much love, North Bay.
Hey North Bay, it's time to celebrate. The city is turning 100 and Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay invites you to the party. Be at home in our spacious suites, each featuring a kitchen. Yeah, a real kitchen. Also, enjoy our comfy living spaces and brand new fitness gear so you can keep feeling great while staying on budget. Planning a big bash or business event? We've got the perfect meeting spaces right here on site. Plus, with our partnerships at The Grand and Stock Transportation, your guests and delegates are in great hands. Want to know the best part? We're right beside the beautiful Cape Paceway, steps to North Bay's lively waterfront, and moments from downtown's shopping, dining, and entertainment. Celebrate the Centennial with us all year long with an exclusive discount. Just use the code CENTENNIAL when booking your stay. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or call us at 705-495-3000.